Hey everyone! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. In this one, I wanted to kind of talk about something perhaps a little bit contradictory, but it is my opinion and the way I live my life and what I believe about this particular subject matter. Of course, it doesn't mean that everyone should behave like this and everyone should be doing what I'm doing. Of course not. But these are my opinions, my insights, my views about something, right? And so I want to share it with you because, of course, this is what I'm doing on this channel, right? I'm sharing my opinions. And I'm not saying that everyone, as I said, again, I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying everyone should be like this. And I'm not saying my way is the right way. I'm really I really want you guys to be careful about this because I'm not prescribing my lifestyle upon anyone. I'm just sharing it. So perhaps you can kind of learn from it, or you can kind of be like, no, this is not for me, or you can be like, well, this is interesting. But that's all, okay? So one of the things that I started doing this quite a while ago, and I think I've spoken about this a little bit briefly previously, where I've been celibate for the last almost 4 years. So I started being celibate in August 2016, and so almost 4 years. In August, it'll be 4 years. And I did it deliberately because I wanted to use all of that powerful sexual energy that I was dissipating in orgasms. I wanted to use that energy into and kind of transmute it or transform it into my creative energy, my creative power, and then write a lot. And it's been working very well for me. I've been writing like a crazy fiend. And, sexual energy is one of the most powerful creative energies in the world, of course. I mean, it creates a baby that's just like magnificent, like magnanimous. Like it's just craziness that a baby can come out of this kind of creation thing, right? Mothers are amazing. And so that's what we do. That's what sexual energy is for. Of course, it's pleasurable, and there's a lot of good stuff associated with it as well. But I'm not saying that I'm against sex. I love sex. Sex is a great thing. But in this moment in time, as I said, I'm kind of using this technique of transmuting, and there's techniques that you physical and other techniques that you do in order to transmute this sexual energy into creativity. Because as I said, I was kind of wasting a lot of it away and not doing any creative work and kind of using sex as an excuse not to do my work. And I've spoken about this previously, I think. But what I wanted to focus on in this video is one night stands and how even if I start having sex again, if or when it happens, I really do have this strong abhorrence or strong dislike of one night stands in general. I did a lot of them when I was younger, obviously, because it was something to do, something to try, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. But very quickly I realized that it wasn't for me. I really don't like them. And there's so many reasons for it, of course. I mean, like there are 1,000 reasons for it. But I wanted to share a few reasons in this video, just because, maybe you might relate to it. It's a very INFJ thing as well, but this is not an INFJ video. I'm just doing this as a general thing. But I noticed that I need more of a deeper connection in order to have that physical relationship. Okay. Now, for me, the way I think about physical relationships, it's kind of different from what most people think about it. I think most people take it very casually. In fact, I think most people take many things casually, right? Which is fine. That's the way a lot of people behave, and that's okay. But for me, especially with sexual relationships, a relationship where you're going to be intimate in such a manner where that person is basically going to be inside of you, inside the most intimate part of you. I mean, come on, that's like the deepest part of you that a person could be in. And I'm speaking right now, obviously, of a heterosexual relationship, but I think homosexual relationships are like that too. I think you're going inside each other. Or, just being connected in that manner, being connected in such a deep, intimate manner. It's such a powerful thing. I mean, you're basically allowing that person's energy, their fields, their power inside of you, and you're taking it in and accepting it. And it feels like, to me at least, that if you're going to do that with an individual, you better be sure that that person is someone whose energy you want to let into your body and into your field. Because literally, when you're kissing someone, your hearts are right next to each other and you're kind of thumping together. You start synchronizing with each other and you're beating at the same rate. And, if they have negative energy around them, if their aura is terrible, if they have stuff that they're dealing with that or they haven't dealt with, and all of that's lingering around them, as soon as you touch them, especially in such an intimate manner, it's basically like you are kind of taking on a lot of that upon yourself. And especially if you're an empath, if you're a highly sensitive person, if you are that kind of person who takes on normally, just normally walking around, you're taking on the qualities and energies of the people around you. I can't imagine how much more powerful it would be when you are intimate with a person like that, right? And so, of course, if it's a toxic individual that you're kind of with, even if it's a one night stand, or if it's a person who's a narcissist, or a person with negative energy, or something that they're not dealing with, or some trauma, or just negativity around them in general, all of that's going to attach itself to your aura, to your energy field very easily, especially, as I said, if you're an empath. So not only are you exchanging energies, but you're exchanging everything, really. I mean, liquids, obviously, fluids are being exchanged, which is the basic essence of sex. But more than that, you're exchanging something deeper. You're exchanging something more important. You're exchanging energies. You're exchanging auras. You're exchanging deep traumas, perhaps, as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. And so for me, if I'm going to be doing this, if I'm going to be intimate in such a manner with someone, I really want to be sure now, I mean, as much as possible. I'm not saying that I'm going to do a deep analysis of them, or I'm going to, kind of check up on them, their past history and their credit history and things like that. Of course not. But in general, it's about the jai, it's about the energy, it's about the feeling, it's about intuition. Sometimes you meet a person, you're like, oh, this person, I would love to be intimate with them. And some other people you meet up, you're like, oh my God, I want to stay 10 feet away from that person at all times, right? And so for me, it's not a casual process. It's not like, oh, cool, that guy's hot, so let's kind of do it. And I'm really trying to to say words that make sure that YouTube doesn't censor me. But in general, it's a more conscious process for me, and especially now. So maybe in the past, as I said, of course, I wasn't. Absolutely, I was unconscious in so many ways. But I'm trying now to make it a more conscious process. Not only, of course, friendship, any kind of relationship, but especially so when it is an intimate relationship. It is so important to me because I try so hard and I work so hard in order to purify my body. Energetically, I'm talking about, of course, hygienically as well, but energetically, I'm always purifying, meditating. You're doing yoga, asanas, poses, tai chi. I'm doing all of these things in order to clarify and purify myself energetically. And then I just can't imagine doing all that work and then just being with someone whose energy is not good and then kind of getting all of that stuff in and muddying my water or muddying my energy. It just feels like such a waste of my time. And if I'm going to do that anyways, then why the hell am I bothering purifying myself, my energy, right? What's the point, right? If I'm just going to let it be impurified or degraded by other people's random energy. And that's, of course, another reason why I'm very careful about the people that I let into my life in general, not only just intimate relationships, but familial relationships or friendships or partnerships or business relationships. Every one of those relationships is carefully I carefully go through them, and that's how I kind of live my life. It kind of sounds a little bit crazy and a little bit obsessive, but that's how important energy is to me. It's so important to me that I can't even explain to you guys how important my energy and the energy of the people around me is. I'm especially so right now where I actually will tell someone that they're really bringing me down and their energy is really not right for me and I have to leave, because it's so important for me also to let people know, because no one, I think, ever even talks about this stuff. People are just being negative or being energetically poor, and no one ever says anything to them because this is not a conversation we have. They might tell them that, you smell bad, maybe not even that, but they will never talk about the fact that your energy is bad, right? And so, it's very important for us to even talk about this stuff because perhaps they have no idea. Perhaps they've never been told this, like the fact that no one will ever tell you that you have bad breath because they don't want to be the bearer of bad news, right? And so it's so important, as I said, to me that I'm always thinking about, how to make sure that my energy stays at the high level that it is right now. And of course, I'm not saying it always stays there. Things happen and goes up and down. but not deliberately. I'm not deliberately putting myself into a situation, or trying not to, where I'm interacting with people or being intimate with a person who's so negative or toxic that it completely negates all of the work that I've done on my energy structures, right? And so this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of completely against, for myself, not for everyone, as I said, please remember this. For myself, I'm completely against one night stands now. Now, I mean, they're fun. Of course, they're fun, and it's nice, and there's a lot of like sexual juices and energies involved. It's all about fun, though, of course, and pleasure. But for me, it's not worth the energy degradation that it might result in, right? I'm not saying every person I'm meeting is like that, but it's very important for me to cull them properly before I let them into my sphere, even in my circle. If you're going to be coming into my circle, yeah, energy has to be really tip top, right? It has to be at the highest level possible. And if it's not, then you're not even coming into my circle, let alone being intimate with me, right? I don't know if a lot of people think this way. I think they do. I'm not really sure, but I wanted to share this, even though I think it might not be taken very well by a lot of people. I really wanted to share this. Again, I'm not prescribing this to be the way that everyone should do things, but for me particularly, as my energy is so important to me, this is how I behave in my life right now. Again, if you guys have any questions about this, obviously please do message me, and we can obviously discuss it in the comments below. And if you do think this way as well, I'd love to hear from you, because it would be interesting for me. I've never actually had someone say this to me before. I think this is the first time I've spoken about this in such a public forum. So again, thank you so much for listening, for watching, for subscribing, and I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.